Yeah, Agabi. Yo. You gonna head into the future. That's where I belong. I'm heading out. That's where I belong. Don't let no one pull you down, cause they don't laugh at you. Don't let no one laugh at you. When things get better, they begin to invest for you. Yeah. When you go through hard time, they laugh at you. You gotta learn to live behind, because they don't belong to you. That's true. That's how it is. You cannot say you my friend when you stab me behind. That's how it is. Agabi. Waiting my eye don't see, Madu no be talk. Waiting I don't see, Madu no be talk. The powerful signs I have for your eye, cause they know you no be talk. Oh. When you go through hard time, that people laugh at you. They think you're funny. They take it funny. That this girl I know, her name is Fumi. But I tell you, you can never fool me. When you bend your back so much, people wanna climb me behind. That's the truth. That's what it is. That's how it is. Oh. When you never let it know, one put time for your eyes. Gotta stand on the right, that's how it is. You gotta let it stand your run, cause no one will stand up for you. You gotta lie to be sad, that's how it is. You gotta be right. Shine your eyes, no one gonna open for you. I'm heading up to the future, that's where I belong. You gotta learn to leave behind, because they don't belong to you. That's how it is. I'm Agabi. I don't give a damn what you think. I believe in myself. That's how life it is. Got the people gonna hate you even when you don't give a damn about it. They're gonna mess you up if you allow them to go by it. Oh, that's how it is. Cause I'm Agabi, I'll kick your face if you fall me up. I don't give a damn how you feel, it's not my problem at all. You can say you'll be my friend when you stop me behind. Oh, that's how it is.
Hello, fellow Biafrans. Good evening, everybody. I want to welcome you to this wonderful evening edition. And we are live on Biafra Television. We are live on Black and White Web TV, and I'm your presenter this evening, your usual presenter, Mazi Ikem Patrick DK, and it's my pleasure to have you here this wonderful evening, 12th of March 2021. And today we'll be touching some issues that is related to food processing and machineries. In fact, I had a very, very important discussion with Professor CHINEDU AGBODIKE, and he has been able to work on a lot of things, trying to encourage local production of food processing machines. And we are here to discuss the way forward. looking at the challenges we are facing today in the agricultural industry, we cannot depend on imported machines for our food processing. And Professor CHINEDU AGBODIKE will be throwing more light. In fact, we'll be talking about food processing basically this evening. And we are hoping to have more guests in course of this program. We are not going to exceed 1 hour, so everything we are doing is going to be as brief as possible. And also we'll be opening the line as time goes by in the program for calls to come in. And we'll also be highlighting about the trainings that will be coming up, both online training and on-the-ground training in Biafra land and the entire Eastern region as a whole. So we'll be throwing more light on these issues. And I would like to bring in Professor CHINEDU AGBODIKE, who is our guest in this program. Professor, good evening and welcome to the program.
All right. Thank you. I'm happy to join you today, 12th of March, 2021.
2021 AD.
AD, yeah. Yeah, I'm happy to join you today, March 12, 2021 AD.
You're welcome to the program, Prof. You look younger every day, Prof. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now.
I said you look younger and fresher by the day. What is your secret? We are asking once again.
Organic fruits only.
Not food from the north.
Not inorganic.
Not food from the north. You don't
no
eat
more
anything
eating
from
of artificial food. No more eating of noodles. And I take my food right from the farm.
Beautiful, Prof. Yeah, we can see it all over you that this is the reason we are encouraging our people to embrace this self-help mechanism that we are making available today so that people will be able to have access to their food even in their gardens. I remember growing up, we used to use bamboo to demarcate a space at the backyard to avoid goats and other domestic animals from having access to our gardens. And all these things have disappeared over time.
Yeah, before we live subsistency life where every family is a farmer. Every family is farming somewhere, either within the compound or outside the compound. Every family in Igbo land or in the Biafra land, they were farming. They were farming. Everybody is a farmer and has power to farm. Today, we can even do better because we have developed empty bag, empty container farming system. So we can even do better.
Beautiful. Today, we'll be talking about agricultural processing machines. We'll be talking about, because we've talked about it these past few days, the possibility of giving our local engineers the ability to manufacture processing machines for us, at least the basic ones that are needed. We have the technology, like you said.
Yes, we do. Yeah, what I found out is that we seem to have short memory of waterborne from 1967 to 1970. The then Biafran nation was manufacturing. They have refinery, they have their own anti-aircraft, they have their AGBODIKE, they have everything done. The engineers then, they have given back to other engineers. These are people who have the technical know-how. Some of them are talented, some of them are gifted. So I wanted to buy Gary processing machine or Gary processing machine from China. They told me 2.something million. And for heaven's sake, 2.something million is big money. Then I went on and I found the same machine fabricated here at 500,000. So whom will I patronize? And those people I bought them from, they produce the spare parts. I myself talking to you, I have my own foundry in Benin, 60 Agbo Road, 60 Agbo Road. You can go there and see it. I can create, because I'm an artist. One of the courses I did is find and apply that. So you can Google it. So I do casting, lost wash system of casting. That's why I put it in Benin, because of lost wash system where I can get the nearest wax. So most of us here, they have this talent, they're skilled. Bill Gates did not study computer. Most of us, what we are doing today, those things we are doing today are not what we studied in schools. These things are gifted, and we need to encourage them. Most of the fabricating machine, the ones they use for palm oil, the ones they use for garri processing, the one they use for ogri processing, the one they use for sorting out, the ones they use for oil, pressing out oil in carrot, in breadfruit and other things, they are manufactured both in Onitsha and in Oka. They are here. They are here. And why are we going to abroad to spend more money to import the one? We have to go abroad to buy the spare parts again. Why not use the local one that is even long lasting? Because it will stay longer. We have boys who can produce wind vane here, machine. We have boys who can produce solar energy. We have boys who can produce compost energy for electricity. In other words, in all our farms, wherever we have our farm, we are going to have wind vane. That means we may not rely on power holding. We may not rely on the National Electricity Board. We have to produce our own energy wherever. How do we do that? Do we need the Chinese? Do we know the Indians? We were copying before. Before China Mamo in 1960, nobody wants to buy anything from China. So we have to start off and start buying from those who are producing so that we will not discourage them. That's why some of them go abroad. And when they go, they'll start with other things and they end up dying with their talents. So we need to really start patronizing these people. They are there. Most of the machines you're buying 4 million, 10 million, they are there. I'm not talking about Caterpillar. I'm not talking about tractors. I'm not talking about other possibilities of bigger machines. We're talking about the ones for processing. All machines you need for processing are available in this land. The government is not interested in the people, and you should be interested in yourself. If nobody can help you, help yourself. If there is nothing there, create it, because you are a god. The purpose of being a god, or all gods, what all gods do is to create. So if it's not there, create it. How do you create it? You must allow our money to recycle 10 or 12 times before it goes out of the Eastern region. The money should recycle. But if you keep on packing the money abroad, you are still suffering from mental problem. That is slavery problem. You are still going into mentality of a colonial slave. The money must recycle. Whatever money you have. An example, when I travel to Lagos, I don't buy bread in Benin. I'm sorry, I'm not a racist or I'm not a tribalist. I don't buy bread on the road. I don't buy bread in Benin. I don't buy bread in Onitsha. I come to my village. That's where I buy bread and give the people, so that the money I have will recycle within the village. I have been doing this for a long time. And I want you to understand that if you keep on throwing away our money for the machines you are buying abroad, we can never develop. Everything you need is here. They can fabricate any, they have foundry, they can fabricate any. If you want me to bring live videos of these people where they are working, I'll take their permission and bring them. Whatever you need. If you need even spare parts, they can fabricate them here.
Yeah,
and
definitely. Prof, definitely,
yes.
Definitely, I recommend that in subsequent programs, we are not just only going to get video clips, but we'll also be inviting the proprietors of these industries to interact with us, so that Biafrans will have a clear picture of what we are talking about. So, and in course of interaction, I would encourage them to come along with some clips of the job they are doing, because we need to also advertise. And this platform also gives the possibility. Black and White Web TV is created to give our people the opportunity to advertise their goods, services, and products. So we would be not just bringing the clip of the process of this manufacturing, but also having a direct contact with these manufacturers. And I hope you're going to be a link to make that happen.
Yes, you are right. That's the right thing to do, especially this time. That's the right thing. We need to start indigenous technology. The indigenous Technology means technique and knowledge, and technology must grow from culture and tradition of the people. It must come from within, not from without. You cannot import technology. It is within. It's within your culture, it's within your tradition, and we need to do this so that those men, those young women, those talented, those skilled people will not get discouraged. We need to do that. We cannot continue to depend on Western absolutism. There is nothing absolute without considering reversibility of absolutism. There is nothing. You cannot say that you are all and all. You are the beginning and end. Knowledge is dynamic and not static. And there is nothing like developed word. What parameter did you use to make that word a developed word? When you were making that parameter, when you were consulting that parameter, when you were organizing the standard, did you consult me? If you did not consult me, then how come that you want to regulate me with what you didn't consult me with? So before the standard, what obtain? Why not the present standard, my own content? You have to come out from the shell of mental slavery. You need to do that. Most of us do not know they're still operating like slaves. How come that you don't know you can? You can all things. There is nothing impossible if you understand, unless you have not tried it. The word impossible, remove I am. If you remove yourself, the word later remaining will be possible. The word nonsense, remove none. The word that will remain will be sense. So everybody is somebody, and anything is made of everything. There is nothing A can do, B cannot do. It's a matter of mental orientation or environmental orientation. It's a matter of time. It's a matter of time. What I'm saying will come to pass. It's like prophecy. That the people who fought war for 3 years, it's a world war because we fought the whole world. We did all these things. Where are those people there? Where are their kids? Where are their generation? Where are their forefathers? This thing is generic. It's in your system. It's in your system. My friend, you have capital M-168 marker, M-A-R-C-M-A-R-K-E-R marker. That's what you have in your blood system, 100%. So you are the origin. You are the aborigine. You are the one that has the know-how, the human nature, the technology, the DNA of a human. That's what you have within you. You better use what you have. Don't be intimidated into not looking inward to see what you have. Don't go flying around going to import things that are available here. If you don't encourage the people here, what are you going to leave behind? Very soon you will die, and you are abusing your forefathers. Are you not a forefather? What are you doing that you are not? You are leaving these people to perish in wanton in poverty. That reason is that we are still having colonial mentality. That is the reason. Until we come out from this and find out that we can do all things are possible unto those that believe. Do you believe that we can? Go and look at these youths. I mingle with them. I know the bitterness. I know the crying. I know the pains they're going through because they're geniuses. And because we're not encouraging those geniuses, this is what we're having. Let me ask you this question. When you die, are you going to go out with money? The only time you die is when your ideas are dead. But as long as your ideas are alive, you are still living. But when you die, you will be forgotten because you are just like breeze. You came to the world to vegetate. You are just like anything. What about the name of your forefather 200, 400 years ago? Who will remember you in the next 200 years? Except you are among those who encouraged this. Then we'll be attached to them because you are the one. That's what I want to say. And I will need us to understand my plan, my thoughts, because I am live here with these people and I know what they're going through. So I may be sarcastic. I may not have spoken well. I might have offended some people. I might have offended you. I might have said something you don't like. But I cannot please everybody. If you come here and see these geniuses perishing with their talents, you have reason to speak the way I'm speaking today. Come out from your shell. Come out from mental colonization. Come out from fear. Come out from incapability. You are told you cannot. Who told you cannot? Because they told you Mogoba discovered River-Niger. Was River-Niger lost? Now, they told you black is evil. The same thing I've been saying again, over and over again. In the beginning, it was darkness. Every seed is staying inside darkness. Life is inside darkness. If you sleep in darkness, you have melatonin in your body. Melatonin in your body, in your cells. And if darkness contains life, it is baby state. It is in darkness the seeds are. It's in darkness most things are. So if you are dark, you are number one. Because in the beginning, it was you. if you want to look at the Bible or the Quran or whatever. So try and come out from that shell of intimidation, of domination, of possession of your mind, because you have been lied to. They told you a lie. History is a cooked up lie, because history is written by the victors, not the vanquished. In other words, is a wrong half. You may be holding the wrong half. History is his own story. That's the meaning of the word history. It came out from his own story. That's the meaning of the word history. So I ask you this question: what about her own story and my own story? How can you have absolutists without reversibility of that absolutism? How can you consider anything absolute without considering the opinion of others? The opinion of her story, the opinion of my story, and the opinion of history make this thing complete. We need to understand that there are brains now. There are capacities we have we are not making use of. We can feed the world. There are land, there are experiments we have made, we have done some researches. But I always tell those people who are listening, please do not imitate the research works. Always consult, always be in consultation, ask questions so that we can guide you through. The farming we are doing today is not the same we were doing 20, 30, 40 years ago. The farming we are doing today is a little bit technologically advanced. And the technology is not Western absolutist technology. This is African, I don't like the word Africa anyway, but this is our own technology, our own traditional technology we're applying into the system, and we're getting results faster and better than
Prof, what you are trying to say is that we can actually determine the direction we want our technology to go.
Yes. It does not have to follow the present system. That's why I said the present system. Before the present system, what to obtain? So why not the present system, my own content, our own content? Because we may not have to go through the present system. So you only be a learner. They send out to school to be a learner, to be a remembrancer. It's brainwash education. What they're teaching us in school is to remember. You're not teaching us how to create, how to imagine. Creativity, imagination governs and rules the whole planet. So we need to start our own from our own angle, not minding, not bothering the existing one, because before those ones were existing, what obtained? So why not presently they contain our own through our own indigenous created technology? We may not even call it technology. We may call it anything, any name we like. And that is what it's going to be. The same thing in music, the same thing in film production. We do not continue to imitate. There is no way you imitate, you become original. There is no way you imitate, become original. I ask you these questions. Let me just cite so you understand what I'm saying. When you talk of juju music, you call Pella. When you talk of reggae music, you call Bob Marley. Is he the only reggae musician? Because they created philosophical system of music rendition. So you come into the system and join those who are creating, those who have these talents, they are perishing. Join to bring out our own technology, technique and knowledge.
Now, Prof, so you made that if we are able to create our own science, develop our own structures, the world cannot also emulate from us.
They will emulate from us. Let me tell you an example of what I'm saying. Presently, globally, anywhere in the whole world, there are none, does not exist, medical cure for cancer. It does not exist anywhere in the world. But we have it right now, herbally done and fantastic. Presently in this world, there is no medical cure for diabetes, but we have it. We have developed it, and it's working fine with our organic. Presently, as I'm talking, there is no medical cure for dementia, but we have it. There are so many others, like asthma, like so many. There are so many terminal diseases. When you go to hospital, you'll be a manager. You'll be managing some viruses, some things. It's because of what you ate. And if you follow the system we are using, both technology and in medical aspects of it, because we are talking of food and healing. If you follow the system, you create something that others will emulate. In the 60s, in the 40s, in the 50s, there were no computers, but somebody created it. There were no Facebook, there was no WhatsApp, somebody created it. The television we had in the 60s, in the 40s, in the 50s, we are black and white, but somebody created them. But you do not think that they are Caucasians. No, That's what they told you. You don't depend your life on what you are told. When you are told certain things that is impossible, you are gradually losing your ability to create. They're intimidating you, they're dominating your mind, and they want to steal your mind. At once your mind is stolen, you become a slave, you become a vegetable. But if you are free from your mind that you you have the capacity to do all things. Everyone on earth has capacity to do all things. Now, if you have that in your mind, you brace up and begin to experiment on the talent that you came to this earth with. Or earth, at the end of this life, I can only say you came to vegetate. That's exactly what I'm saying. And many of us here, especially in this section of the world, especially the Eastern region, are highly, I'm not saying talents are not every other place, but the concentration of it is higher here than any other zone of the world. Fortunately, those boys, those girls, those youths are not discouraged. We are encouraging them, and they have seen green light that what we're saying is true. They have the capacity to do. If you see some of them doing small, when I mean market, that means a kind of small amateur. Using the language of artists, market. The small amateurs of machines and so on, flying aeroplane and so on with drone, they're doing them. They are manufacturing them. Nobody's helping the caterpillars, tractors, small ones, and they bring it up. People will gather around them and they give them small money. They will look at it and everybody will forget about it. Before you know it, you learn that the boy or the girl has lost. Somebody has stolen him, maybe taking him to one country, and then they do it. Listen to me. I want you to listen very carefully. There is no slavery epoch on this planet called Earth. There was no time there were slaves. No. What we had, we are terrorists. Terrorists, that's what they were. Terrorists who are kidnappers. They came to terrorize and kidnap your people and put them into slavery and learn their skills and brought the skills back to you. So there was no slavery. Stop that language. We are slaves. No, we were never slaves. We are the origin. They came to terrorize because they were terrorists, they were kidnappers, they were rapers. They are as bad as the Fulanis of our today. That is what they did that time. But today you paint it with pictures, beautiful, it was slavery, it was this. No, they were actually terrorists. They terrorized the then generation. Now they were all rapists, they were all evil people that came to intimidate you. And because you think they have left that epoch. No. Now let me explain to you why they have not left that epoch. When they came here, we were carrying them with a caricot. But today, are we still carrying them with caricot? Yes. The vehicle you are driving has 4 legs. And who is the driver? You. And they are at their back. So you're still carrying them with a caricot. So exactly, the bird that flew from the ground and perched on anthill is still on the ground. The technique they're using is still available now. I'm sorry to say what I'm about to say now. They're using religion to steal your mind. They're using politics to steal your money, and they're using outdated weapon to sell it to your people and make your banking industry and make your country unsafe so that you'll be packing money abroad. That is still the modern slavery. But then what do? Bring those monies. Don't put the monies in the bank. Invest the money on agriculture, invest it on machineries, invest it on processing and packaging machines that are invented here, and they will yield forth what you need. You don't need to put cash in the bank. I'm not saying you cannot bank, but I'm trying to tell you that those monies you are afraid, now you pack it abroad. Why not invest them on machineries and have market to sell to other part of the world instead of we importing and importing? That's what I'm explaining to the people here, and they need to understand what I'm saying. If we understand it, let me tell you, you know what I'm saying is true. You know, when you see truth, you know. Truth is just like a straight line running from timeless path through now to eternity. It does not bend. You can hide truth, you can cover it, but it will come out of its obscurity, with its own style. There is nothing impossible for a man who knows, or a woman who knows where he or she is going. If you know where you're going, if you know where this program is going to lead us to, it's total mind liberation. It's going to lead us to feeding the world. It's going to lead us to producing technology. It's going to lead us to handle certain terminal diseases. And I'm challenging the doctor, no matter PhD you have, to give me a cure for cancer. You don't have. So why is it that when we have it, you want me to go through a process of examination? Who created that standard? If those standards cannot produce what I have, why are they now examining me? From which program are they going to use to regulate me? Which program are they going to use? Which standards are they going to use to regulate what I have?
When they don't have solution to the problem, Prof, we have yes, we have Benedict Ibeke. Is it Ibeke? Hello, Benedict. Good evening and welcome. Yes, Benedict. Good evening and welcome to the program. Hello, Benedict. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you very well. Good evening, Mazikem.
Yes, thank you very much for being here. Thank you for being part of the program. Have you ever been on this platform before?
Yes, I was on 2 weeks ago. I was there.
Okay, you were here with us 2 weeks ago, and we talked about
goat.
Yeah, we talked about the goat and all that. Yeah. So I want to welcome you once again. We are expecting that Mazi Solomon will join us. He's on a trip, on a journey, and I hope he will be able to make it to join us. But if he doesn't,
hello?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Yes. So I think we are back. I think we had some
problem.
He's not able to join us today. We hope that he joins us by next week. And Benedict, today we are talking about food processing machines. Do you have any knowledge whatsoever in food processing machine? Because when we talk about food processing, we also talk about preservation. We will talk about packaging, and we talk about storage. Do you have any knowledge as regard to food processing?
Well, food processing, to me, generally agriculture has a way of industrializing a nation. When you talk about Nigeria now, this year, last year alone, we spent over 2 trillion on importation of raw materials for our industry. Now, for example, you can Google all these things I'm telling you. If you look at the pig industry, the hair from the pigs, they are used for brushes. The lard is used for cosmetic industry. The skin is used in the leather industry. You understand? The bone is used in the agricultural industry. The blood is used in the agricultural industry. So you can see the multiplier effect of processing. Like I said the other time, everybody mustn't get their hands dirty. There's what we call agricultural value chain. And there is always an entry and exit point of every business. For instance, if you don't want to go into the farming of yam or anything, you can go into storage. You buy yams during glut and store them. You buy grains during glut and store them. And if you look at crop calendar, there's what we call crop calendar. When these crops, when everybody produces this type of crop, and when it matures, you will have glut. You understand? And when you have that glut, you now go to the market and buy up these things and store. So you can even build a common silo and do corn storage. In 3 months' time, it's off the market and you start selling. You start making your money quietly. So you don't need to go to China or any place and import. If you go to Annam and see what Prof they are doing there on rice farming, you can see that you can be an off-taker. Now that we are understanding it, the way things should be done in agriculture, you can position yourself as just an off-taker and sign an agreement for contract production. I've been speaking to a guy in South Korea from Enugu State. He's now going to go into processing of pork meat. And due to this electricity issue, he's going to use solar for his freezers. And I'm telling you, he's going to act as an off-taker to a lot of farmers around the eastern zone. Now, it is now part of the criteria for banks to give you loan. If you have an off-taker, that means this product has a ready-made market for it. And you sign an agreement, and when you're producing, you can actually calculate what you are producing, what your market wants. So you will see that this period, when you go to the market, you see something like oranges, fruits, you see them wasting because you don't have off-takers for them. So I believe what PROF they are doing there on especially our local delicacies, like for me, I don't eat maggi. When you're a student of PROF, there are certain things you must eat healthy. You understand? So when you see this ogili obey being processed and stabilized for a longer period of time, giving them a longer shelf life, that is what processing is all about. You will now see that a lot of people can go into agriculture with a clear shot. It's just like if you're importing petrol into Nigeria and you know that your landing cost is 110 naira, you sell at 120 naira. 10 naira times 1 million liters, after the sales, give and take, you have 10 million. So that is the problem we're having in agriculture. There's no sure banker that when you go into this is the end point. So that is why I believe so much in processing, and that's what we are still looking into.
Beautiful. I think we have a long way to go. In this area of agricultural production, processing, and storage and whatever that goes with it, because we've seen over centuries that we have not been able to keep a preservative measure to be able to sustain and keep our products always available in the market. I want to bring in Mazi Solomon. Hello, Mazi Solomon. Welcome to the program. Are you there?
I don't know if you can hear me from this very end. I am right now. I'm supposed to be in this very program.
Are you there with me?
Yes. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, Mazi, go ahead. We can hear you.
Okay. You know that I'm supposed to be in this program fully, but fortunately, I am right now in the airport.
I think we are having difficulties.
Hold on.
Okay, so you can proceed. Mazi, you can proceed.
Can you hear me better now? Can you hear me better now?
Yes, you can proceed. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
You can proceed.
Yes, I supposed to be in this program full time as I was being informed, but unfortunately, I'm just in the airport now. I'm flying to another city based on assignment. So I'm very sorry that I cannot proceed in this very program. So thank you so much, Mazipat, for the programs.
Thank you very much. We hope to see you. Yes, go ahead.
To Prof. I greet Prof and I greet our brother. Welcome again. We haven't spoke after last time, and I have a lot of questions. I have a lot of questions for you. So be ready for my question by next week. I'm very sorry that I cannot participate.
We hope to have you back, and we wish you a safe journey and a safe return, Mazi Solomon.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Yes, we have Anyeze. Anyeze, are you there? Good evening, Anyeze. Anyeze, can you please introduce yourself? Yes.
Anyeze Chinonso. Can you hear me?
Go ahead, we are listening. Biafrans and the world is listening to you.
Yeah, I'm Anyeze Chinonso speaking from Biafra land in the States, besides Agricultura.
Okay, welcome to the program. Are you into agriculture?
Yes, I'm into agriculture, but not deeply like that. I'm still wasting up.
Okay, so in what area of agriculture are you? Which sector?
Yeah, I told, like last time I spoke to you, I said maize.
Okay, you are into maize farm. I think you've been in this program before now, and we receive a lot of guests and it's sometimes confusing. Do you know anything about food processing? Have you had any knowledge about food processing?
Okay, I don't have that vast knowledge about it, but through some, I think, some snippets I got from Prof. Alex, and I'm getting used to it a bit. Yeah, like the one
Okay.
he told me about Ogiri. He told me about Ogiri that is already produced. All you need to just get your melon or whatever, just put it. Every natural ingredient has been made. So that's one I know of. But I hope getting more of it as time comes.
Okay. Okay. So right now we'll be opening the line for our callers to call in. I want to bring back Professor Chinedu Abodike. Hello, Prof. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm there, live and sound.
Okay, now we might be having people asking you questions because we have the line open for our viewers. Anybody who have any question for Chinedu Abodike as regard to processing, as regard to machineries, food processing machines, and that is the topic we are dealing with. We've talked about crops. We've talked about animal husbandry. The last time our brother was here, Benedict was here, he talked about goat, and we hope that he comes back again because I know that the goat cheese is a very, very,
Goat
very
milk.
not
Goat
milk.
milk.
We are talking about cheese. We are talking about
Okay.
cheese here. When you come here, goat cheese is one of the most expensive cheese, around the
Wow.
world. And I believe that we should be able to take milk processing to that level where we can actually produce goat cheese. Cheese that are made from the goat milk and be able to, give it to the world. Benedict, what do you think about that? Have you ever thought about not just goat milk, but the cheese? Because from the milk you make the cheese, which is part of food processing, by the way.
Exactly. Well, you see, like I said before, you see, when you talk about processing, it is much more important in agriculture because if the wastages we derive from agricultural produce, my brother, is alarming. So, like now, nobody cares about cheese in this country, but I believe that cheese can be stored over several years. You understand? So, the most important thing in agriculture is stabilizing that your product. You will see, these are West African dwarf goat. If you have good one, and the byproducts from other processing plants, like the one from Ebonyi State, the one doing going into corn, you will see that when you process corn, in fact, 100% of the corn starch we use in this country is imported. Our so-called custard. Now, you have these medicinal drugs, these tablets. What do they use for them? You understand? There's industrial grade cassava starch, industrial grade corn starch. That is what, like a paracetamol, you add 500 milligrams of it to it, and that is Panadol. You understand? Now, but what we're looking at is when you do goat cheese milk, I'm telling you honestly, the export market is so large. Not just the cheese. At the end of the day, the spent animal, what we call spent animal, after the lifespan, between 8 to 12 years, you will discover that the leather is very strong. You can export the leather to Italians for shoe production, for belt production, wristwatch production. Then the hairs can be used for brush. The hoofs can still be converted back to feed raw materials. You understand? So goat cheese is a good process.
Even the animal skin can also be used for coats, for winter jackets and stuff like that.
Sure. So, like, if you go to you see, that's why I said a lot of people it's a win-win situation. To be honest, do you know that when you remove the back of the corn itself, the corn kernel, when you remove the back, it's a feed raw material for livestock, for ruminants. Do you know that when you process soya beans, when you remove the chaff, it's a feed raw material for the livestock. You understand? So you go into processing, you will be so shocked, you will be so amazed. It's very vast. It's very vast. So anybody can pick any sector, and you're home and dry.
Yeah. So, Professor, when we talk about, because I have lived in the Western world for quite some time now, and I have experience where machines are used for milking of cow, milking of goat, and stuffs like that. And I believe that if we put our interest in these areas of creating milking machine, we'll be able to produce a milking machine in Biafra land.
Yeah. Most people say something, that's why I come up with the idea. When people say something that money is a problem, anyway, psychologically, money will become your problem because of the cost of importation, cost of electricity, cost of production. Now, if you say there is a lion in the street, you won't go out of your house. You remain in the house and die of poverty. The most important thing is to venture. Now, I try to save the situation by saying the cost of importing machine, the cost of machines you are importing now is what we want to replace. So at the end, we'll bring down the cost of production. Because by the time you start competing with those who are bringing the importation, who are bringing it from China at a very cheap rate, you find out you will not be able to have market for it. So what do we do here? We try to make the cost of the machine. I told you that if the cost is cheaper, it will be easy for an investor, it will be easy for a farmer to be able to farm. I told you that I wanted to buy machines for separation of castor oil, separation of egusi, that is melon, and separation of pumpkin, or ubogru, that is the pumpkin seed, for me to produce ogri, which we have used some herbs, I don't need to say here, to make it not to spoil, or not to make it not to be outdated for 2 years, 3 years. It's not going to expire. The ogri will remain fresh after 2 years. We have done that. Now, when I wanted to buy the machine, I contacted the machine and they told me 2.28 million to buy the machine. I went to Onisha and bought the same machine and better fabricated at 500,000. So now, what have I done? I have reduced cost of production. I have reduced cost drastically by several percent, by over 1,000%. So that's enough. Now, somebody is telling me to buy a generator or whatever made in China, made in Taiwan. We have been able to have our own locally made at a cheaper rate. And I'm producing better, lesser in cost of production than those in China. So I cannot compete. Why I'm saying this is for people to understand that there is possibility of we competing with international market, because that's the fear that most of them are having now as we are talking. So
Prof,
if you buy
you mean that the issue of seaport in Biafra land might no longer be for just importation, but for exportation of our goods and services.
Majorly export. Yes, yes.
Because when we talk about seaport, bringing seaport, having seaport in Biafra, our focus is on importation of goods from outside the country. But if we are able to be self-reliant, the need for the seaport would be for the exportation of our goods and services.
Yeah, that is exactly what we are aiming at. We may not have it all. Knowledge is dynamic. Nobody has it all. So we may have to see that 70 to 80% of what we have are locally made, and we export them because there's nobody to compete with us based on fundamental, based on the place, based on how we got it. So there will be nobody to compete with us. So because one, our prices will be cheaper, our cost will be cheaper. That's the whole market is about economic supremacy rat race. That's what the whole world is all about. It's a capitalist theory. It's economic supremacy rat race. That's what the world is all about. So we are ready to join the race, and we want to give the baton to the younger ones. The foundation we are laying now, we're going to give the baton to the younger ones. What my brother was saying, we may not understand it. If we want to give everybody employment in the whole Biafran land, then go to agriculture. There is no other thing that can give everybody employment except agriculture. In all ramifications, none. Medical, whatever, entertainment, field, and so on and so on, can never give employment for everybody. Industries, I'm not saying they are bad, can never. But it's the agriculture that will breed industries. It's the same agriculture that will breed textile industry and so on. In fact, agriculture is so big that if we use our condition, the weather condition we have, the environmental orientation, the kind of culture we have here, if we can delve into agriculture, there will be no unemployment. There will be no unemployment in Biafran land. Everybody will be, and when these things are done, there will be no more sabotage, because the purpose, the problem of sabotage emanated from capitalism theory, capitalist theory, where some people have, other people don't have, and some people are starving and dying of hunger. So when you come and offer the person money, he will sabotage his brother. But whereby everybody is working and everybody is depending on the other symbiotic life, as our forefathers were doing, you have your farm by everybody in the damn Biafran land has his family farm. Everybody is farming. But right now we have developed cities because outside their corridor you can farm in cement bags. So we can see return the same old technology whereby everybody has something he or she can do to earn a living. And that is what we are advocating here. So in the processing industry and whatever we have in processing and packaging and so on and so forth, we don't need to depend on Oyibo for preservation. No, we don't need to depend on them. We don't need to depend on them pesticides. We don't need to depend on them on herbicides. The nature of our soil, it's not the same thing. So we cannot use what they have as our standard to assess. The land in China is different from the land here. The soil in China is different from the one here. So we cannot 100% depend on what they use and produce the best in our own environment. That is what I'm still saying. We need to look things away from what is in existence and find alternatives. And those alternatives we're looking for, we make us creative, we make us different. Until we start searching, we cannot see. We need to search to see. And that is what I'm talking to the people. That's what I'm telling the people. There are many people here who are searching because of hunger and poverty. They went inside and started inner self-examination. And they have developed things that we need to make use of.
Thank you very much, Prof. Thank you very much for that insight. We are expecting people, anybody, if you have calls, we have just a few minutes to round up. If you have questions, you have any contribution, the telephone number is on the screen. +39 388 177 9665. We'll be rounding up. Benedict. Yeah, so because today we are talking about machineries. We are talking about food processing, machine, agricultural product processing, machine, and all that. With the level of inadequacy in power supplies, because I know you have some knowledge, with the inadequacy in power supply, how do you think we can beat this? We can succeed, because I know that for you to be able to produce machines, you need a lot of energy. Do we first of all look at the angle of the energy, or do we take it? Do we take the entire process together? While we produce machine, we also work in the direction of energy production.
Okay, thank
to enhance
you very
productivity.
Much. Yes, one, I believe in efficiency. Okay, for instance, like Prof is saying about Ogiri, must I plant Ogiri, harvest, process? No, the answer is no. Do you get me? Hello, are you with me?
Yeah, we're here.
Go ahead.
Okay, good. So now, the efficiency I'm talking about is specialization. You understand? I can tell Prof, okay, look, let me produce maybe melon or whatever raw materials you're going to use for this production. You get me? So I don't need to worry about how he goes about it. Now, he himself can look at it. Okay, look, Ben, supply me pig manure. Okay? which he will now convert to biogas and use it on his turbine and generate electricity for his factory. You understand where I'm coming from now? So
yeah.
He can talk to the young man doing corn. You after harvesting the corn, they break it down and submerge it and generate gas from it. The waste will now be used as fodder for the pig, for the livestock. You understand? You can equally, like you stay abroad. In America, it's not one company that is into electricity generation. You can have a cluster whereby somebody is specialized in generating electricity. We want 10 industries here. They are going to use 1 megawatt of electricity, and I will arrange the turbines. I will work out my gas supplies from poultry dung, from goat dung, and all that, and use it to generate electricity for the cluster. And my job alone is to generate electricity. Yes. You can decide to get a cluster and buy the land and generate electricity, and you attract industry. Industrial layouts, what are they for? You understand? So this person with the know-how and knowledge can specialize in electricity generation. So you don't spread yourself too thin. You understand? So these are the areas we have to look into. We shouldn't, everybody mustn't go into the real actual production. That's why I say the value chain is so vast. It's so vast that you can go into electricity generation. This person can go into this person can go into this, and you will see there will be efficiency of production. For instance, if you see all these motorcycles that are driving in Nigeria, you see maybe one company is producing them with different brand names. For instance, I can meet Prof and say, look, I have a target market, produce this, the same model he's producing with my brand name, and I pay him, and I go to and sell my market. I'll be a marketer. I don't have any knowledge.
I think Benedict is having difficulty. He's having difficulty. Prof, in fact, we have just a few minutes to go. Prof, I think we'll be coming back. Yes, I think we'll be coming back as usual on Friday next week. Friday next week, let's check the date. Next week, Friday is 19th. I hope we'll be here again. Same time. Prof, how do you work with us to bring our manufacturers in this program? Because Biafrans would like to have interaction with them. I would like to have interaction with them. I would like to have direct contact in terms of communication, to be able to have see a bigger picture of what they are capable of doing.
Now, what I will do, first of all, I've identified with them. One of the things you must do about human being is to create trust. Create trust. A lot of people are afraid. The nation we have, everybody's afraid of his own shadow, of her own shadow. So if you create trust among them, we video what they're doing, then I tell some of them cannot use phone with apps. They don't have that knowledge at all. If you talk to them, they're just talking. What they know is that this is what they can produce. Now, those that have that capacity, I'm going to ask them then that we are going to bring them on online for them to sell their market to the masses. And then I will video whatever they have. There are many. So, but segment by section by section, I video it so that they will see practically. Most of our people, according to the Bible, are Thomas. They want to see. They want to see before they believe. But you don't need to believe before you see. You don't need to see before you believe. But all we are not is to see results of what we have done. We have proven beyond reasonable doubt that we have results. And those results, by next week, I will be showing you the machines and how they are working in my own compound. I'm not saying somewhere else. I'm not talking about industry in somewhere, but right inside my compound, the green machines done and fabricated 100%. Raw materials gotten from here, from the tinker, from the things we throw away, from the bicycles we throw away. They cut them, melt them, and produce them with what they call it. I don't want to go into that because that's my field. Anyways, that's part of my field. They produce them, and I will show them practically how this is done. And I interview those people. We will be able to see them live, and you can talk to them. And then let us go a step ahead. Encourage these people. Encourage them, because they will fabricate the spare parts of the machine. And one thing about those machines is that they stay and live longer. Yeah, that's what I want us to do. So that's what I think I can do for next week.
Thank you, Prof. You've always lived to your word. Let's bring in Benedict for the last time. Benedict, give us your last word, and we hope to see you back by next week Friday, when Solomon will be available to question you more on your area of specialization. Give us your last word for today.
I'm encouraging everybody. The agricultural sector is so vast. I'm being honest, I'm being frank. You can, if you look at the entrance of Cousins Imperial Leather into Nigeria through Patterson Zokonis, the Greek man, what brought them was palm kernel. And you can believe me, the number of people PZ is employing now. Now we have domesticated it to rural areas, even places where there is no road. You start seeing our young boys fabricating palm kernel crackers, oil mills. We no longer import those jagged oil mills. The young men at Onitsha and everywhere is doing that. So they are still participating in the agricultural sector. So I crave your indulgence. I'm begging everybody, let us go into this agriculture. For those that are living in America, it's Mexicans that are bringing the cocoyam they use. Those that are living in South Korea, it is these people, Filipinos that are bringing in the cocoyam they use and all that stuff, you know. So I think we should, on our own, look inwards and find a lasting solution to this issue of agriculture in Biafra land. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Benedict. Thank you, Professor CHINEDU AGBODIKE. I hope to see you guys next week, Friday, same time. And I want to say thank you, Biafrans, each and every one of us who is present and have been present with us from the beginning till the end of this program. I urge you to share this program in every platform, make it go around, tag your friends, and make sure that people receive this good message. And I'll be seeing you back next week, Friday, like we said. And we hope that our professor will be able to get us samples of video clips and possibly we see how we can get connection with our producers on the ground, so that we'll be able to have interaction with them, for them to give us a more bigger, brighter picture of what they are capable of doing. And this platform, Black and White Web TV, integrating with Biafra Television, is to see how we can look inward and start believing in ourselves once again, that as we work towards Biafra restoration, we will not leave anything behind. I want to say thank you very much. And I hope that next week, by the special grace of Almighty, we'll all be here again to listen to the good news and get more information and knowledge as to how we can build a future, a sustainable future for that matter, for the next generation. I want to say thank you. My name is Mazi Ikem Patrick DK, and it's my pleasure and honor to be your host. Thank you, and have a nice evening.
Yeah. Agabi. Yo. You can head into the future. That's where I belong. I'm heading out. That's where I belong. Don't let no one pull you down, cause they don't laugh at you. Don't let no one laugh at you. When things get better, they begin a verse for you. Yeah. When you go through hard time, they laugh at you. You gotta learn to leave behind, because they don't belong to you. That's true. That's true. That's how it is. You gotta say you my friend, when you stab me behind.